Now, Larry Caplan's with us, our horticulturist at large, and today we're talking about how to get your kids interested in what you're doing out in the garden. Now, while you're out there chopping down the weeds and all that, a lot of times you have your kids running between the rows, and to get them interested is really another problem.
Right. I think it's very important that we get the next generation involved in gardening at as early an age as possible. The earlier they get started, the neater they think it is, and then they just want to keep doing it over the years. And then you have someone to weed the garden for you later on in the summer.
I think especially from the standpoint of, first of all, keeping them from stomping on your radishes and stuff, but as the time goes by, watching things grow and have you harvest things out of the ground should be quite interesting for them. Right.
The entire gardening experience has to be a positive one, though, Bill. You shouldn't be as concerned with actual production as you are with just actually doing the gardening. What you should do as an adult is share your garden space, or if you have enough room, set aside a little bit of garden space for your children so that they can do their own gardening. Then let them do their own thing. Don't worry about straight rows or anything. Just let them go at it. Now, if you live in an apartment or you don't have enough room for gardening, we got a picture here. This is my son Josh with his container garden from last summer. And
we actually thought this was you at an early age.
No beard. That's the giveaway. No, Josh was 3 years old when this was taken, and he was growing peas and carrots. And I think he got like maybe a dozen pea pods and maybe half a dozen carrots off of all the work we went through on this. But he didn't care. It was just the excitement of being in the garden that was what he enjoyed doing the most. And I think that's important, is that, again, don't be so production-oriented with the children. If you get one tomato out of your kid's garden, that kid is just going to cherish it. And he might even try eating new vegetables if he's grown them. So.
Now, what are some simple tips to simple things that you can have? You say Joshua was 3 at that point, and I know he was breaking into growing things in containers as opposed to your plot out in the backyard. Now, what are some simple ways to introduce them and get them on the road to gardening now?
Well, what would work best is to get them something easy to grow, easy to plant. For example, zinnias and marigolds, nice flowers, they're very pretty to look at, but they've also got large seeds that the kids can manipulate. You get something like petunias, and those seeds are too tiny for the children to pick up and plant. But my son Josh was helping me plant marigolds just a few weeks ago. So that's something to work on. Again, peas, beans, and squash seeds are also very large, and the children can plant them easily. Make sure, though, that with these seeds that the children don't eat them or stick them in their mouth. Sometimes these seeds are coated with a fungicide, which is not good for them to eat, or the seeds themselves may not be good to swallow. Now, for older children, say 7 up into their teen years, try to get them interested in unusual vegetables, like the different types of gourds, for example, spaghetti squash, sunflowers, anything out of the ordinary. They'll get a kick out of growing it. Be a lot of fun. They'll get something harvestable out of it, and they'll maybe try something new to eat.
All right, some interesting tips. And of course, if you have problems getting your child interested in gardening, Larry Caplan probably has a bullwhip or something you could borrow down at the Extension office. Give him a call down at the Vanderbilt County Extension office.